Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe. So on the base of the sweet will of Gurudev, we will continue to share about quotes from Caitanya Charitamrita in different scriptures, like in this case, Shri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. And we came till verse number 17. And we will also start again from 17 because last time we could not finish. And I'm not at all sad about this, actually, because this is really nectar. It's verse number 18. And it's about Sri Radha embodies the 7 oceans.
I will go to Gurudev. I will try to switch on Zoom in his room.
Okay. So last time we were reading about the 7 oceans of Radhika. And we heard last time that Sri Radha is Vaidaktya Sindhu, what means an ocean of cleverness. She is Rasa Panditya. She knows everything about the science of taste. That's why she even teaches Rasika Sheka. Then we heard that Srimati is the only ocean of Anurag. And Anurag means Mahabhav. Anurag is ever fresh and ever astonishing. Then we heard that Sri Radha is the ocean of Vatsalya. Vatsalya means love for the poor and the fallen. And Sri Radha has an inexhaustible storehouse of amorous rasa, but also a great ocean of Vatsalya affection. Then we also heard that Sri Radha is the ocean of deep compassion. And we were talking about this connection from Vatsalya and deep compassion, what it does mean for us, actually, that we are in such a wonderful position that we don't need any qualification to go this path, because our qualification is the mercy of Radha. Because in fact, we are also like her children, small babies, and she is in that sense our mother, and she has the most vast ocean of deep compassion. And in this connection, we are in a very, very good position, because in this way, Radharani will bring us back to her seva. We heard about this last time. So, and I want to continue here. We had some quotes from Caitanya Charitamrita, but there will be another one. That's why we will just continue here. And I'm very happy that these quotes are especially in this verse, actually, because this way we can churn this nectar from another point, from the point of view what actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was bringing to us. What gift? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought us all these 7 oceans from Radharani. And this is most wonderful. So Sri Radha is the ocean of deep compassion, and this is the 4th ocean. She is always showering her devotees with the nectar stream of her mercy. Jai Gurudev, my obeisances and my loving hugs. And I don't know why, but yesterday we also had this same topic actually about the mercy and the mercy of Radharani.
How are you? Good. The Shivala came with a stabilizer. Just open the room. How much?
So, Sri Radha is the ocean of deep compassion, always showering her devotees with the nectar stream of her mercy. Those who have been touched by the nectar of that compassion can testify. Srila Raghunathas Goswami says, Karuna vidravateha, her body melts with compassion. So this is where we stopped last time, and that's why we will start here again. So we heard that normally a person's heart melts with compassion, but only in Radharani's case, the whole body melts with compassion. She always bathes in streams of ambrosial compassion. And because Krishna accepted her mood when he became Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why Mahaprabhu is so merciful. That's why Mahaprabhu does not consider who is qualified or unqualified, who is from which caste or from which ashram. No consideration at all. He gives prema, love of God, without making such distinctions. That is a body melting with compassion. It is Radha's storehouse of compassion, not Krishna's. In Braj Leela, the storehouse of Radha's mercy remained hidden and closed. But when Mahaprabhu accepted the mood and complexion of Sri Radha, it became manifest to the world. Mahaprabhu showed the people of the world how the body can melt with compassion, because he assumed Sri Radha's merciful mood, because Radhika's body melts with compassion. It cannot be compared to the fourth. It can be compared to the 4th cosmic ocean, the ocean of clarified butter or ghee. So just to remind, this was the topic last time we ended, and now comes the 5th, the ocean of Lavanya. Srimati is the ocean of Lavanya. The luster that gushes out of her bodily limb, like the luster shining out from inside pearls, is called Lavanya. What shines outside from the inside pearl is called Lavanya. Srimati is the ocean of Lavanya or elegance. The fish-like eyes of Sri Krishna, who is called Lavanya Sara, the essence of Lavanya or elegance in Srimad Bhagavat, never get tired of swimming in the ocean of Sri Radha's Lavanya. Indeed, his desire to swim in that ocean simply increases. Sripad Bilva Mangala Thakur said in Krishna Caritamrita, Lavanyamrita Vachi Lolita Trisham. Krishna's eyes billow on the waves of nectarian lavanya. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj writes in his Saranga Rangada commentary on this verse, Sri Krishna's eyes have become very thirsty after the nectar waves of Sri Radha's lavanya, because Krishna is intoxicated seeing Radha's lavanya, and her maidservant and girlfriends are intoxicated by seeing Krishna looking at Radhika like this. The ocean of lavanya is compared to the third cosmic ocean, the ocean of wine. So again, why it's called the ocean of wine or compared with that? Because it's intoxicating for Krishna. The lavanya of Radha is so intoxicating for Krishna. And when the maidservants look how intoxicated Krishna is by Radharani's lavanya, they are also intoxicated. The practicing devotee should also forget everything related to this world or the next world and become intoxicated by worshipping the lotus feet of that Sri Radha. Sri Radha is, number 6, the ocean of Amrita Chapirupa. She is the very form of glowing nectar, and her form is like a vast ocean. She is Mahabhav personified, and Mahabhav is compared to nectar. It is the deepest possible love for Krishna, and Radha's form reveals this beauty and tastefulness to the utmost. Therefore, she is the Amrita Chapirupa Sindhu. Although Sri Krishna inundates the world with a mere drop of his beauty, even he drowns in the nectar ocean of Radha's form. Now comes another quote of Caitanya Caritamrita. Krishna says in Caitanya Caritamrita, Adilila 4, 242 to 243, Kotikama chinirupa yatyapi amara asamurtva madhuya samyana hiyara morarupe apyayita hoitri bhuvana radharadashane amara chudaya nayana. Emata chagatera sukhe amihetu radhikara rupa guna amara chivatu. Although my forms defeats millions of cupids, is unrivaled in its sweetness, and pleases all the 3 worlds, my eyes are still pleased by seeing Radha. In this way, I am the cause of joy to the world. But Radhika's form and attributes are my very life. Because the ocean of Radha's form is so sweet, it is compared to the second cosmic ocean, the ocean of sugarcane juice. So Krishna himself makes it very clear. Although his form defeats millions of cupids, is unrivaled in sweetness and pleases all the three worlds, although of this fact, he is so pleased by seeing Radha, and Radhika's form and attributes are the very life of him. And because Radharani is so sweet, she is compared to the ocean of sugarcane juice here. So this was the last quote of Caitanya Caritamrita in that verse, but we will of course end with the seventh ocean of Srimati, the ocean of playfulness, which means her frolics with her beloved Shyam Sundara. She keeps Shyam Sundara immersed in the waves of the ocean of her pastimes when she meets him. When the waves of Madan Ras swell in the ocean of Sri Radha's pastimes, even Sri Krishna, the transcendental youthful Cupid of Vrindavan, does not dare to place his boat-like heart on its surface, just as a boatman fearfully keeps his boat on the bank of the Ganga when her huge waves meet the ocean. This ocean of play is compared to the first cosmic ocean, the ocean of salt water. Because although the very sight of this ocean destroys all sins, a person who drinks its water will die. Similarly, when one faithfully chants and hears about the pastimes of Radha and Madhava, one will become free from all sin and from the heart's disease of lust. But when one tries to imitate these pastimes, one will perish. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. These were the quotes from verse number 18 in Sri Sri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. So the next quotes from Caitanya Caritamrita I found in Sri Sri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. They are in verse number 21. Like always, we first hear the topic and then the quote. The course of Radha's love is the topic here. When Krishna plays his all-enchanting flute, Srimati rushes out to meet him, like a forceful river goes forward to meet the ocean. Just as during the rainy season the current of a river becomes very forceful and floods its own banks, similarly the Ganga river named Radha overflows the restrictions of her Dukula, two families, her own and her in-laws' family, when it is filled with extraordinarily sweet waves of passionate love for Krishna, and forcefully flows on towards the Krishna ocean. That is why Shripad called Swamini Suratarangini, the river of the gods Ganga, here in this verse. This river of passion breaks all dams of religious or traditional principles with its great force of desire for Krishna, not caring about the dangers that might occur on the way. So Shripad, as a dedicated maidservant, follows Sri Radha, helping her to meet the Shyam ocean, making her taste the nectar of Shyam Sundara by addressing her in the above-mentioned sweet ways. Sri Radhike, O greatest worshipper of Krishna, you are called Radhika because you fulfill all of Sri Krishna's desires. Krishna Vansha Purti Rupa Kori Aradhane Atta Eva Radhika Nama Purane Vakane. Caitanya Charitamrita. Sri Radhika delightedly prepares herself for going out. Abhisa. So this was the quote from Caitanya Charitamrita in verse number 21 of Shri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. Maybe Gurudev wants to give us a little hint how to understand, how to go deeper. We cannot hear you, Gurudev.
You read, then I will see.
Krishna Vancha Purti Rupa Kori Aradhane Atta Eva Radhika Nama Purane Vakane. Sri Radhika delightedly prepares herself to going out. Abhisa. And she is like a river going for the ocean, very forceful, and floods her own banks. Two Kula from both families, the own family and the family-in-law. And this river of passion breaks all dams of religious or traditional principles with its great force of desire for Krishna, not caring about the dangers that might occur on the way. So here Radharani is called the Ganga River. The Ganga River named Radha overflows the restriction of her two Kula.
Love is the ocean. No, like you see the ocean. Ocean means the waves coming in that. And the flow of love is a waves of ocean. So these waves, two family connection, and more flow is coming back. Two rivers are joining, and that flow is very high waves when they meet each other. Then any dam, any blockage, not possible to hold it. That love flow of Radha and Mohan. Two Kula means two families and two rivers. One is the Ganga. Only by touching that water it becomes pure. And Krishna's rivers of love. And when they flow, nothing can block His flow is very high. Close the voice. Children are.
This was closing.
Yeah. Close. No, voice not.
Up.
My talking as the speaker.
Which one is this?
So Radharani is flowing towards the ocean, flooding both sides, Dukula. Forceful stream, no one can stop that stream going towards the ocean. This is her Abhisa. In verse number 22, I found the next quote from Caitanya Caritamrita. First, we hear about the topic. Sri Krishna told Sri Radha, O Kalyani, auspicious, beautiful girl, your lips that are as red as bimba cherries defeat the sweetness of nectar. Your face is as fragrant as a lotus flower. Your words crush the bright of the cuckoo's songs, and your body, that is the abode of all beauty, is cooler than sandalwood paste. In this way, all my senses are finding pleasure in relishing your sweetness and beauty. Sri Krishna told that to Sri Radha. So we can see when we chant our mantras, we are reminded of that. And Krishna is actually here telling himself, O Kalyani, auspicious, beautiful girl, your lips that are as red as bimba cherries defeat the sweetness of nectar. So your lips are even more sweet than nectar. Your face is as fragrant as a lotus flower. Your words crush the bright of the cuckoo's songs. In your body, that is the abode of all beauty. The abode of all beauty is cooler than sandalwood paste. In this way, all my senses are finding pleasure in relishing your sweetness and beauty. So we may remember that Krishna is not speaking about senses like our body here in the material world, transcendental senses. So Radharani is giving pleasure to all of Krishna's senses, to the utmost, in a way that he could not expect himself. Although Krishna always desires Radha, Goddess Yogamaya arranges that she is difficult to get for him, because she is married with another man. So now the topic is clear. Now comes the quote of Caitanya Caritamrita. Kabu na mile daivera gatan. Caitanya Caritamrita. This Parakya Rasa extramarital relationship makes the mutual attachment of the hero and heroine deeper. So this underlines the sweetness of this Parakya Rasa, because we all understand When it's easy to see each other, you can always meet. This is one taste. But there's another taste. You are not allowed to see each other. You have to really find tricks to meet each other. You have to be very clever, and you need some friends who help you, that you can meet under very strange circumstances. And you always have to be very tricky, that you have some time together. This is another taste. So this is Parakya Ras. It seems like Radha is married with someone. She is not allowed to meet her beloved. And this is giving more taste. And there are more aspects which are described here. Sometimes Radha is angry with Krishna, and Krishna will pray to her, "Please give me your generous lotus feet, Dehi Pada Palavam Udaram," from Gita Govindam. Making his own head more beautiful by placing Radha's lac-anointed lotus feet on it. Krishna sings, "Hiyara majhare utera sera hiloli, jabe parasite chahito mara payera anguli." A wave of rasa comes up in my heart when I want to touch a wave of rasa. So like a big wave of rasa comes up in the heart of Krishna when he just wants to touch Radharani's toes. It is the quintessence of divinity when God wants to accept the lotus feet of prema, the love of God. Utmost manifestation, Sri Radha, as the wealth of life. And this is a very interesting fact, because what makes Krishna to God for us? What makes him for us that so interesting that we want to serve? In which situation the Manjari wants to see him? When he wants to serve Radha's lotus feet, when he is praising the greatness of Radha's lotus feet, when he is praising Radharani's qualities, when he is defeated by her good qualities, then the Manjaris are very happy. So without that, without Dehi Pada Palavam Udaram, he is not God. This fact that he is bowing down to Radharani, to the highest love, the love of God, is making him interesting. Otherwise, not. But this does not make him inferior. Rather, it increases his superiority. And that is the glory of Sri Radha, the love personified. So I think this is a very interesting point, the quintessence of the theme of God, actually. Why I want to serve a person? Because he's mighty, he has power, he is beautiful and he's rich and all this, really? Is that why I want to serve a person? Yeah, maybe in the material world, because I want to have something from that, but not in the realm of love. All these things are completely not interesting. In Vrindavan, all this counts nothing. The only thing which is interesting is the love that God has for love of God. He's bowing down with all his richness, with all his power, with all these qualities, he is actually bowing down to love of God. And in this way, he is actually our guru. Because from a material point of view, he has everything we could want to have. But for him, it's worth nothing without bowing down to Radharani's lotus feet. So we may follow him. And this is actually what he also says in the end of Bhagavad Gita. You know this verse 1866. Give up all religious and just bow down to my one, to my beloved. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us this mercy, to show us this way of love and the way how to follow. He left behind here when he went back in his realm. He left the Goswamis for us. The Goswamis were writing such wonderful books like this book, Shri Shri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. So many things for us to just follow simply the way he showed us. And he left also the streams of mercy coming down, the parampara. So it is actually very easy for us in that troubled time here, Kali Yuga, to follow that path. And this is the mercy of Sri Radha. He came in the mood of Radha. So we are very blessed actually. The next quote from Caitanya Charitamrita in Shri Shri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, I found in verse number 24. It's the verse about the lonely bathing place of the Yamuna. You may remember. So first the topic. In Vrindavan, there's no mundane Cupid. Only the transcendental Cupid, Shriman Madan Gopal, the shelter of all material and spiritual Cupids. When Lord Brahma prayed to Krishna in his Braj Leela, he said, "We 11 gods of the senses relish your sweetness through the senses of the people of Braj. And in this way, we are also blessed." Again, when Lord Brahma prayed to Krishna in his Braj Leela, he said, "We 11 gods of the senses relish your sweetness through the senses of the people of Braj. And in this way, we are also blessed." We heard about that fact that our senses are actually controlled by gods. We may think, yes, I'm moving my hand, but it's not like that. The gods are moving. So all your senses are controlled by gods. So the Brajavasis are always completely in love in Brahma. So their senses are full of Brahma. So the gods are connected with their senses. They can indirectly actually have this taste. Although the material gods cannot possibly reside in the senses of a transcendental eternal associates of Sri Krishna in Braj, Lord Brahma simply gives a likeness. Well, when you are in your Siddha Deha, the gods are not in control. They are in control of your body, material body. But they want to give at least some example. In the same way, although the mundane Cupid cannot live in Sri Vrindavan. So now we understand, in the same way, material Cupid cannot live in Vrindavan. This metaphor, with Sri Krishna's lusty feelings that arose when he saw Sri Radha's limbs, has been given, and her divine body has been called Ananga Jivam. Sri Krishna can only be glorious as the transcendental youthful Cupid of Vrindavan because of Sri Radha's sweetness and beauty. Otherwise, his glories are totally baffled. Again, Sri Krishna can only be glorious as the transcendental youthful Cupid of Vrindavan. Because, who is the Empress of Vrindavan? Sri Radha. And because of her sweetness and because of her beauty, that's why he can be. Otherwise not. Otherwise his glories are totally baffled. So without Radha, no chance. Sarata Sangeya Dabati Tada Madan Mohana Anyata Vishwamohipi Syayam Madan Mohitaha. When Krishna shines with Radha, he enchants even Cupid, but otherwise he himself is enchanted by Cupid. Again, when Krishna shines with Radha, he enchants even Cupid, but otherwise he himself is enchanted by Cupid. So only with Radha he has this power to enchant Cupid. Otherwise, when Radharani is not there, he is enchanted by Cupid. And here comes the quote of Caitanya Caritamrita. Koti Gopira Manorate Manmatera Manamate Namadhare Madan Mohan. Caitanya Caritamrita. He mounts the chariots of the gopis' minds and steers the mind of Cupid. Therefore, he bears the name Madan Mohan. That's a nice picture. He mounts the chariots of the gopis' minds and steers the mind of Cupid. Therefore, he bears the name Madan Mohan. But Sri Radhika steers even his mind, and therefore she is called Madan Mohan Mohini, and her body is called Ananga Jivam, Cupid's life giver. Cupid's life giver. Because without her body, there is no transcendental Cupid. So she is giving the life to him. She is giving all good qualities to him. Radharani is the source of his life, his existence as Cupid in Vrindavan. Just as a dying person is revived by drinking nectar, similarly, Krishna is revived by contacting Radha's divine body when he is about to die in the fire of lust. Just as a dying person is revived by drinking nectar, similarly, Krishna is revived by contacting Radha's divine body when he is about to die in the fire of lust. And maybe we remember that verse, it's also here in Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. When Radharani is bringing him back to life, he felt unconscious by contacting him with her body. Suddenly, the maidservant sees Shyam Sundara sitting in the branch of the tree. With folded hands, Krishna prays to her, "Let me enjoy this vision for a moment." Without the maidservant agree to that, he cannot enjoy that vision. Seeing the situation, the maidservant is absorbed in Rasa. Krishna is praying with folded hands, "Please, please, let me enjoy that vision." This is the grace of the Manjari given by Radha through the shadow. So this was the quote in verse number 24. The next quote I found from Caitanya Caritamrita is in verse number 25, a lotus flower in a love lake. A lotus flower in a love lake. We just heard about the maidservant and her seva. So let us find the topic here. The maidservant has completed Srimati's bath and starts to dress and ornament her. But Swamini has noticed an unnatural look in her eyes and quickly covers her limbs. Startled, she looks all around, thinking, "Is beautiful Shyam maybe behind me somewhere?" Shyam is enchanted by the sweet gestures Srimati makes at that moment, and the maidservant feels blessed. When Swamini sees her maidservant looking at the top of the nearby Kadamba tree, she understands that there's a secret hidden in one of the tree's branches. And when she looks carefully, she sees a bluish effulgence emanating from it. Although Krishna tries to hide himself, Srimati catches him with her glance. It's not just a saying, because whenever Radharani is moving, when her glance is going somewhere, Krishna is like bound to it. He cannot, by his own, completely free move, actually. His movements are always connected with Sri Radha. She is catching him with a glimpse. She can move him. She can do with him whatever she likes. Because it is said that when Radharani is moving a little bit, Krishna's heart is tracked. It's like some ropes are bound in his heart and moving in that moment, pulling him. He has no independency in this case. Radharani is catching him. He cannot hide. He's sitting there in the tree, watching how the maidservant is actually bathing Radharani. Her limbs are adorned with the Bhava Bhushana, the emotional ornament called Vilas, and many intense emotions become manifest in her. Shyness and opposition pull her homewards. Heedlessness urges her to perform her duty of picking flowers, as if she was going to pick flowers after her bath to worship the sun. And ecstasy and lusty desires enter deeply into her body and mind, causing an indescribable condition in her. Shyam Sundara considers himself blessed by seeing her sweet condition at that moment. Here comes the quote. E bhava yukta dekhi radhasya nayana sangama hoite sukha pai koti guna. Caitanya Caritamrita. When I see Radha's face and eyes, in that mood, I get millions of times more pleasure than when I directly unite with her. Swamini chastises her maidservant with her eyes, saying, "If you saw him, then why didn't you say anything?" The maidservant answers with her eyes, "I didn't see him. I also saw him just now." Actually, it was Srimati's innermost desire to see Shyam when she decided to bathe in the Yamuna that morning. So what a wonderful example of the seva of the Manjari. Krishna is sitting in the tree, the maidservant massaging her with oil, bathing her, drying her, making Shringara seva, and Krishna is watching it. Without the seva of the maidservant, there wouldn't be that taste. It's the highest seva for Radharani, and in the same time, of course, for her beloved. Without the maidservant, it couldn't come to that enjoyment of Krishna. E bhava yukta dekhi radhasya nayana sangama hoite sukha pai koti guna. When I see Radha's face and eyes in that mood, I get millions of times more pleasure than when I directly unite with her. So blessed is this maidservant. Srila Anandadas Babaji is writing so many times, blessed is this maidservant and blessed is her seva. So maybe time for another one. The next quote I found in verse number 26, it's about the topic Sri Radha, the quintessence of everything. Such a wonderful topic. Sri Radha, the quintessence of everything. O Radhe, the Creator has collected the essence of all spotlessly beautiful things of the whole world to make your body. O dew-eyed beauty, the rays that emanate from your limbs defeat even the splendor of mirrors made of jewels. Srimati is also Rasa Sara Sukhaika Sara, the most delicious happiness for the essence of Rasa. Who is the essence of Rasa? Sri Krishna. The Upanishads say of God, Rasavai Saha. He is Rasa. But Sri Krishna is Akila Ras Amrita Murti, the very form of all nectarian transcendental flavors, and he contains unlimited sweetness. Indeed, he is sweetness personified. Madhuyam eva nu, Krishna Kanamrita. His sweetness steals the hearts of all moving and non-moving living beings. He even enchants himself with it. Govinda is the quintessence of Rasa, and Sri Radha is the quintessence of his happiness. Krishnendriyaladi gunai udhara Sri Radhika rachati radhikeva. Sri Radhika can only be compared to herself. In other words, there's no comparison. She can only be compared to herself. And there's no one else like her, for with her attributes, she gives joy to all of Krishna's senses. Govinda Lilamrita 11:118. Or, Sri Radha is the only essence of bliss and rasa in general. Sripad Kavi Kanapurna says, Rase Saras Chamatkaro. The essence of rasa is astonishment. The Madan Mahabhav of Sri Radhika is the most astonishing and the most relishable rasa. Therefore, she is the quintessence of rasa and bliss. She even astonishes Govinda. Govinda is bliss personified, but she makes even him, as well as all devotees, happy. Now comes the quote. Sukha rupa Krishna kore sukha asvadana bhaktagana sukhadite ladhini karana. Caitanya Caritamrita. Thus, Sri Radha is the only essence of bliss, and she is also the essence of compassion. And here we see the connection where we begun, the ocean of compassion, and here she is called the essence of compassion. So she is an ocean of the essence of compassion, the quintessence of compassion. She is always the quintessence. So this is our Swamini. We want to serve that quintessence. And there comes another quote here. That's why I will go on reading here in that explanation or commentary. She is also the essence of compassion. First, one must realize what is compassion. What means compassion before we can understand what the quintessence of compassion means. Sripad Ramanujacharya writes in his commentary on Vedanta Darshana, Daya hinama svarta nirapeksha para dukkha sahishnuta. Compassion means that one gives up all selfishness and one cannot tolerate the suffering of others. One gives up all selfishness and cannot tolerate the suffering of others. These feelings are not possible towards dead matter, only towards living beings. Although the soul is by nature transcendental, it is still under the full control of time, karma, maya, and God. Sri Jiva Goswami writes about compassion in Priti Sandarbha. Although God is self-satisfied, he still likes to accept the service of his devotees, and therefore he creates the desire for devotional service in the hearts of the fortunate candidate devotees. Thus, his heart melts with compassion. and is filled with the desire to benefit the conditioned souls. So this is the position of God. But now comes the quintessence. The greatest gift is devotion and love. Ladini tvaraya kore bhaktera poshana. Through his pleasure potency, we all know who that is. Krishna maintains the devotees, and that pleasure potency is Sri Radha. So through his pleasure potency, Krishna maintains the devotees, and that pleasure potency is Sri Radha. And now Krishna has accepted the lustre and mood of Sri Radha and has descended as Gaura to bless all the conditioned souls of the age of Kali with the most benevolent gift of Raga Nuga Prema, which was hidden in the storehouse of Brajas Nikunjas. Sri Radhika is the quintessence of compassion indeed. Sri Radha is also the quintessence of sweet, beautiful forms. Madhura Chapi Rupa Sara. The word Chapi means color, luster, or beauty. So Sri Radhika is the quintessence, and she is keeping alive the devotees. Even the devotees who are devoted to Krishna, she keeps alive. What to speak of the manjaris, of the maidservants. So here we will end for today, and next time we can hear about the 6 jewels Radharani is presenting. So more nectar next time. If someone has some, wie sagt man, Ergänzung, some more to say, some feelings to share, or some questions, whatever. Some ads. So thank you very much that you are here and bless me in that way that I can have your darshan. Thank you, Gurudev, for your mercy, although I see you're busy and always distributing the mercy of Radharani. Thank you all.
Radhe Radhe